So why have you come today?
So today's event was something great to get involved in. It was one of those COP events that were, I suppose, feeder type events that I think being part of the Scottish Net Zero community has been really inspiring. We only came across it about a month ago, and already there's so much energy, so much inspiration, so many great stories that we've already heard, and new contacts being made. So for us it's been a fantastic, worthwhile investment of our time to involve in the panel, again to hear more about what's been happening. Really enjoyed the day so far.
You're not really a SME, you're slightly bigger than a SME, your company. You said, I think, about 300 people, right? So had you thought about the carbon? Has that been something that the board has discussed? Have you been looking at that? Or has it been something that's kind of sort of passed you by, it's kind of in the background?
So I think over the last sort of 5 years we've had active efforts on sustainability. You know, we've all been trying to do something, I think, as businesses, and I think really it's come into focus in the last sort of year or so in particular, particularly after the pandemic. Businesses are trying to do more with less. And I think, you know, we support businesses to be more efficient with their resources across different industries. So we're all about, you know, engineering technology across different industries. And I think, you know, we've started to understand and recognise how we can play our part as a business to accelerate our supply chain and being able to help them move forward in their net zero journey, and actually become a bit of a thought leader within it, and actually just listen to others and think about what we can do and steps we can take and help them with.
Why is it important, do you think? Because I've talked to lots of people in this area, and they don't give a damn that COP is on. They just want to get on with their lives. They want to get a doctor's appointment. They want to go and their kids are safe at school. But here in this room is a very motivated bunch of people. Why does it matter to you?
I think if we, you know, being selfish about it, you know, we have to continue to grow as a business, and if we're not shown that we're aligning with big, you know, things that happen in the world, you know, the Sustainability Development Goals, for example, from the UN, you know, these are blueprints that and legislation that businesses are going to have to actually understand how they play their part in helping with that, you know, and if we can't ignore that as a business. And one of the things that we're working on is our Environment 4.0 offerings. So we're basically looking at this being the next evolution of Industry 4.0. So we've coined this new term that really looks about utilising accessible and cost-effective digital technologies to not only drive productivity benefits, more efficient benefits for our customers, but also looking at actually making sure that we embed sustainability at the heart of that too, and actually allowing them to move forward and drive their various strategies in that direction. So, you know, waste reduction, emission reduction, energy saving, mitigation is all part of that. So we're really delighted to be able to talk about that here today, and it's gained a lot of traction already. So for us, it's really important.
What have you done yourselves as a company?
So as I said, coming to these events allows us to look wider about learning. You know, we've done a lot. I believe in the last year we've actually reduced our carbon footprint by 30%. So we actively track it as a company. Yeah. But even things now, looking wider about even how we actually change mindsets across the business. We've done a lot over the years in workplace innovation and cultural development, but I think even, you know, involving our young people, empowering them to have a voice more, and actually thinking about how they can play their part and put forward solutions and new ideas that our full team listen to up and down all different levels of the business. So I suppose we're still at the early stages of that. We're not going to pretend to be an expert, but it's really about coming here, taking time out, strategising, and I think one of the terms we're starting to talk about now is green growth. You know, actually thinking about who we're working with, who we're collaborating with, who we're partnering with, and that's sort of really becoming a bit of a future way of operating for us, and I think Environment 4.0 for us really lays the groundwork for that.
In terms of this community, the Scotland Net Zero community here, you were on a panel with lots of businesses earlier on. It's quite interesting to see that so many SMEs, I think one person said, don't wait for legislation, just do your own thing. Do you think Scotland's sort of grab the metal here? You've got a target that's greater than the general UK of 2045 rather than 2050. You've got a lot of renewable energy up here. You've got a lot of wind. You've got a history of oil and gas. So I think there's a shift. Do you see it when you talk to your fellow business people up in Scotland that they're looking at this proper seriously?
Yeah, I think, you know, this opens up a lot of opportunities for us as a business, and people would be mad not to recognise the.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what it's about, isn't it?
And I think even from an investor point of view or from a funding point of view, it's really important that we think about this in a future sense and embed it into our strategy. So. I know people haven't been too fussed about COP being on and think it's just another big thing, and I suppose it is to a certain extent, but one of the phrases I heard at an event the other day was about turning activism into actionism, and I think that that's a really good mantra for us all to remember, because we all need to play a part in this climate emergency, and we have to think and take a step back before we can take steps forward, I think.
Thanks very much for joining us on Future Net Zero.
Thank you.